You could hold unemployed people hostage for 2 months right through the Christmas season and have 2 million people lose the ability to put the turkey on the table.
Yeah.
And still say, but I voted for a tax cut for the extremely wealthy in this country who've already got more than enough.
Just 2 days after that interview, Congressman McDermott received horribly angry, violent voicemail messages from a 32-year-old man who threatened to kill him, his friends, and his family if he voted against the tax cuts. And it wasn't the first time this person had gone after an elected official. Seattle newspapers are reporting that that last March, he made threatening phone calls to a California state assemblyman. Back then, he was let off with a warning after apologizing and telling authorities that he had been high on medical marijuana. This time, he's saying that he was drinking when he called the Congressman McDermott's office. He has now been arrested by the FBI and charged with threatening a federal official. After what this country has gone through, threats like this cannot be ignored any longer by anyone. For more, let's bring in Congressman Jim McDermott of Washington. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. How shaken were you by this? What kind of a chilling effect has this had on you?
Well, Ed, I've known about this for some time, and I really haven't changed my pattern of going out and meeting my constituents or the things that I say. I really believe that if you believe what you say, and you're willing to stand with it, then you continue to do what you think. I think all of us know who take public office that there are risks, that there are people who are distressed by what you may say or what you do, but that's part of the job. And many people don't go into politics because they are unwilling to take that kind of pressure. I think that it's like saying to a fireman, don't go into a burning building because there's danger in there. When you take a job, you know what the risks are, and maybe they're minor or minimal, but nevertheless, you know they're there. And I think you can't back down. If what you believe is what you believe, you say it.
You know, some folks think that maybe congressional members should be more calculated, and if you vehemently disagree with something, maybe you should do it behind closed doors and maybe not out in the media. It sounds like there's not that calculation being made by you. You feel very strong that your passions have to be displayed to your constituents?
Well, my job as a representative is to accept the trust of 690,000 people to represent them in Washington, D.C. in the best fashion that I can do it. And I respect that trust, and I trust them.
Yeah.
And I believe that I have to be in contact with them in order to know what they think. And even if they disagree with me, and certainly some people do disagree with me, I have to be open to accept that in order to be a good representative, because I have to know what everybody thinks.
Do you think this is going to be a more intense environment for elected officials? Over on the Senate side, the Sergeant of Arms has told media people that in Congress, the threats of the first 3 months of 2010, they were up 300%. And we know we've got a very angry country right now. Obviously, the debates are very heated, and some of the moves coming up are very controversial from a lawmaking standpoint. Is this just the way it's going to be with congressional members?
Well, you know, Ed, maybe the only thing you get out of gray hair is experience, but I was in my training back in the 1960s when John Kennedy was assassinated. I was in training in psychiatry in Chicago, and there was a huge hue and cry at that point around how we should prevent this kind of thing from happening. And I think at this point what's most important is that every public official and the people in general step back, take a breath, and think a little more carefully about what they say and how they say it. I think that toning down the rhetoric, bringing down the tension in the society has got to be done from the top. But all the people in the society have to understand.
Congressman, you make a great point, but it seems like there are some lawmakers that refuse to do that. And the Tea Party has been on record as of late after the shooting that they're not going to change their rhetoric. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that's unfortunate, because always in a society you have people who can't make distinctions between words and actions.
Yeah.
I'm talking about adults. It's common with children. We know about what violence on television does to children, but it happens in adults who have not matured sufficiently, and you have to be careful what you say, because some people take those words as directions to do something.
Congressman Jim McDermott, good to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.